Good evening. Welcome to the Wall Township Board of Education business meeting for Tuesday, June 13th, 2023. Please join me in saluting the flag. Thank you. At this time, Board Secretary Mr. Smythe, will you please read the sunshine announcement and the roll call?
This is the Wall Township Board of Education, meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meeting Act was provided by notice to the CoStar Asbury Park Press, all Wall Township Public Schools, the Township Administration Office, and a posting in the Board Administration Office on January 5th, 2023. Take a roll call. Mr. Anisio? Mr. Buffa? Here. Ms. DiGiovanni?
Here.
Ms. Hodnett?
Here.
Mr. Maliv?
Here.
Mr. Nasser? Mr. Sanfilippo?
Here.
Mr. Wondrak? Ms. Stites?
Here. Thank you. At this time, may I please have a motion for the board to adjourn to executive session for the items listed on the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo? Mr. Maliff, thank you. The board expects to reconvene for 7:30. Thank you. The June 13th business meeting of the Wall Township Board of Education. At this time, please welcome members of our Wall High School NNDCC program and join us as we perform the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Smythe, will you please perform a roll call?
Mr. Anizio?
Here.
Mr. Buffa? Here. Ms. DiGiovanni?
Here.
Ms. Hodnett?
Here.
Mr. Maliff?
Here.
Mr. Nasser? Mr. Sanfilippo?
Here.
Mr. Wondrak?
Here.
Ms. Stites?
Here. At this time, I'm good.
I apologize.
You sure?
Continuing down, Ms. Allison Cardinella?
Here.
Ms. Madison Brody?
Here.
Ms. Lauren Gill?
Here.
Ms. Bryn Heaney?
Here.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite the Board of Education to sit in the front two seats for the, we have a series of presentations that I think that'll be best to be viewed. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have a series of presentations this evening, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Regne, our student assistance counselor at district-wide and certainly at the high school, and members of the Delta Club for the first presentation this evening. So, Ms. Regne.
My voice is loud enough, trust me. I could definitely reach to the back. So my name is Alyssa Regne, and I am the Student Assistance Counselor here in Wall Township. I also am the advisor for the Delta Club. Delta stands for Discovering Excellence in Leadership through Teen Alliance, and we have been partnering with the Wall Community Alliance for the Prevention of Alcohol and Drug Abuse since about 2013-14. We have, unfortunately, Olivia Gemitter, one of our members, she's been a member for 4 years and a senior, and she came up with an idea a couple of years ago in the middle of COVID hybrid world, but she was not coming in back then. And we were having a meeting virtually, and she said, Mrs. Regne, I really want to offer families of Wall Township and the local areas an opportunity to honor their loved ones who have passed on. Now, the personal reason for her was because she had an older sister who passed away of an accidental overdose, but we were in the midst of COVID-19. So she was very well aware of the fact that people had a lot of loss during that time. And it was just amazing that a young lady, one of our Wall Township High School students, had that forethought. So we're very grateful to her. Though she cannot be here, she had to work tonight, but she had asked if we could pull together a Light the Night for the Shore community event. We did it last year for the first time. It was a success. We did it for the second time this year, and on top of the event, what we added to it was a fundraising component. And with that fundraising component, we were able to give 2 scholarships to 2 students who have dedicated their time to drug prevention services here in Wall Township, in particular within the high school, Wall High School, as well as being a member of the Teen Alliance, the Delta Club. And so Olivia Gamitter was one of those scholarship winners, and Nico, who is here, is another senior. He was the other recipient of the scholarship. And we also are able to, with the amount of funds raised, we are able to provide a $500 donation to Common Ground Grief Center, who has for a very long time worked with our youth on the subject of grieving the loss of any kind of loss. And Sue Boyle is here from Common Ground Grief Center. I would love for her to just talk for like 1 minute. If she could just say a little bit about Common Ground Grief Center, because it's important for all of you to know about this amazing service to your community.
Thank you. It's a real honor to be here tonight. Thank you for the wonderful donation. Common Ground Grief Center is located in Manasquan, and it serves the needs of kids between the ages of 6 and 18 who have lost a sibling or a parent. Unfortunately, there are a lot of kids in this situation, and Common Ground Grief Center provides a group setting for those kids to come together and feel normal for a short period of time where they get to play and deal with their grief. The younger group through play, and the older group through conversation, and the teens can bond over pizza donated from a local pizzeria. So Common Ground Grief Center has been around for about 15 years. It is a nonprofit fully funded by donations, and the $500 that the Delta Club is donating to Common Grief will meet the sponsorship needs for one child for an entire year at Common Ground. So we're very thankful.
So we have Nico, our outgoing senior, who is presenting a certificate of a $500 donation to Common Ground Grief Center. And I forgot to bring my phone.
Ms. Regney, thank you so much. Thank you, Delta Club members, and I would very much like to express my gratitude to the Common Ground Grief, because they have helped more students, more families, really in Wall, but also in the surrounding communities as well. So my hat is off, and I am incredibly thankful to them. So thanks for coming out tonight, and we wish you well in your endeavors. At this point in the series of presentations, we are going to be providing you with an update of Unified Sports. So I don't quite know where you're seated. There you are. Okay. Would you please, this would be great. Now, for those of you that watch our board meetings or attend in person, this is something that we probably discussed probably about 3 or 4 times at a board meeting. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome our Director of Special Services, Ms. Kelly Bond. Ms. Bond?
Thank you, everyone, and good evening. We just this past month had our first unified sports, our high school kickball game, and we did want to take the opportunity to talk about this just one more time, because tonight we have students and parents who want to share how profound this experience was for them, and just how beneficial inclusive opportunities are for all students. So without further ado, thank you all for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello? Hello? Sorry, just making sure it's on. Hello? I don't know if it's working. It's working? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay. On May 19th, students participated in Wall High School's first unified sports event, a kickball game against Toms River East. Unified sports is an offshoot of Special Olympics that joins people with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team. It was inspired by a simple principle: training together and playing together is a quick path to friendship and understanding.
Studies conducted by the U.S. Department of Education, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services have found that the inclusive programming is just as valuable for non-disabled students as it is for the students with disabilities.
These studies surveyed students involved in inclusive programming and found that students who are engaged in inclusive programming develop valuable pro-social skills. Over 85% of students report learning about helping others, about how their emotions and attitudes can affect others, and that standing up for something they believe in is the right thing to do.
82% of students felt like they were able to change their school for the better, and 84% of students regard their experience with a unified champion school as a positive turning point within their life. It definitely has been a huge turning point for me, and the great programs and inclusivity opportunities here at Wall High School has definitely inspired me as I continue to pursue a special education major. A few people would like to come up here and share about their experience within the Wall High School's inclusive programming. First, we have Stephen Colasurdo. Stephen's pretty awesome.
Really good at piano.
Yeah.
Sick pianist.
I'm Stephen Colasurdo. I am on the kickball team. I like playing kickball with Mia. Mia was smart and nice. Mia helped me kick and run to the base.
Next up, we have Ava Valenta, who will provide a little bit about what it's like to be a student coach.
Hi, my name is Ava Valenta, and I'm a junior here at Wall High School. This past year, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be a coach for the Unified Sports Kickball team. The coaches and players met once a week to practice for our game that occurred on May 16th. And what an amazing day it was, and a beautiful sight seeing my classmates come together in support of our special needs students. While I know all of our players enjoyed this program, I can confidently say it was truly a blessing to myself, my peers whom I coach with, and all of our students and staff who attended as fans. It is through opportunities such as this that make a student like me look back at their high school experience with love and gratitude. I know that would be entirely beneficial to the school as a whole to allow this program to continue to thrive and grow in the upcoming years. Thank you.
Then we have Patrick Southwell, who will provide the experience as a fan.
As an active member of the social club and student council, I was so excited to be a part of the unified sports team and supporters this past month. The dictionary definition of unified is make or become united, uniform, or whole. Our school is unified as we work together to make it a better place. Not only did unified sports open my eyes to the wonders that can come from working together and being unified, it makes me think about how we can all spread kindness around the world. Seeing the smiles of everyone, the players, the spectators, the coaches, genuinely brought our school closer together. We hope to continue this amazing event for years to come.
We will continue with Mrs. Prince, who will provide the perspective of a parent of a student athlete.
Hello, everybody. My name is Betsy Prince, 3426 Shoreline Drive, Allenwood. I'm the mother of Ryan, who's over there with me. He's 20 years old. He knows everyone. And he has autism and OCD. The social program has been wonderful for him. The kickball game at the Field of Dreams was an amazing and magical experience for my child and for the neurotypical helpers. Wall provided 3 buses of students cheering with signs, as well as kids partnering with our special kids. There was a band, perfect weather, and everyone was enthusiastic and the energy was buzzing. Wall TV recorded it and interviewed my son, and were so kind and happy and made Ryan feel special and accepted. My son kicked a genuine home run, went all the way over a gate, and he got tons of cheers. Ryan's teacher's son, Luke, taught him how to kick hard. He was so proud of himself. My son's partner was a sophomore named Callie Tigar, and she told her mom it was her favorite high school day so far. And they've known each other since she was like 3 years old. There was also another social club outing. It was a Polar Express event in December, which was tons of fun. They got to see Polar Express, and they had popcorn, and Santa Claus came. It was amazing, and the whole social club. They went to Sesame Street on Broadway, and they got to have lunch in New York City. Part of it was funded by the school, and part of it the parents paid. They all had Elmo shirts on, the students plus our kids. They had a Count Basie show they got to go to, and lunch. They went to No Limits Cafe several times with their neurotypical helpers. For some of our kids, these are their first friends. Our kids get to experience fun, joy, and acceptance, not shoved away, hidden in some special school, isolated and alone. Typical kids and everyone there got exposure to a different outlook, one of fun and joy, and not drive and competition. Please know how wonderful this program is and the benefit it has had for all involved. It is well worth the funding. Thank you.
Next, we will be continuing with Mrs. Wells, who is a parent of a student coach.
Hi, I'm Melissa Wells. My son had an opportunity to participate in the kickball event as a volunteer coach. From my perspective as a parent, this was a very positive event that encouraged others in the community and within the Wall schools to be more welcoming and accepting of people of all abilities and people who may be different than you. It was a really great day full of nothing but kindness. It was a very rewarding experience for my son, and he's hoping to have an opportunity to participate next year.
One of our board, our student reps, Chris Daly, in the Wall High School TV class, produced a kickball game that, they recorded, so we're gonna go watch it now.
Thoughts for pregame, looking around and seeing everybody here. It is very exciting. The kids are exciting. The whole school came together. I mean, we have 3 buses who came today, fans, cheerleaders. The players are excited, teachers, everybody has helped out at the school.
This kid, he's come a long way since the start of practice, and I'm really, really proud of him.
Great job, Colin. Great job. Great hit, first of all. How are you feeling going into this game, and now you're playing out here? You're looking great.
Why, thank you. I am looking great, and I'm strong like a bull.
Mission from yourself, how are you feeling after that event, and just how you think the kids played?
I think the kids played amazing. I think they had a lot of fun. The fans, our fan section, The coaches, the mentors that we had helping, the students, the players were all amazing. All around great day. Just a good feeling all around. 1, 2, 3, 1!
Well, I'm really glad I skipped the mascara this morning. I had the privilege, many members of the Wall Public Schools team, to attend the main event. And magical is a term that I heard used to describe special, inspiring. These are the words that were used. And literally my favorite day in certainly my career. So hence why I'm glad I didn't wear the mascara. So I can't thank the organizers. I can't thank the organizers enough for all the hard work. This was definitely a team effort. Mr. Musoff got a big shout out in the video, which I'm so glad. He was a fierce coach just from watching him during the main event. So it was a beyond special day, and it's a day that I'll carry with me. And I cannot thank everyone enough for coming out and sharing their experience. And really, I think you did a dynamite job bringing it to life. If you weren't there, it's really hard to capture how special it was. But I got to tell you, I think you did an amazing job, and I couldn't imagine doing a better job. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for your enthusiasm, your positivity, and thank you for believing in yourself and believing in others. And that's why we're all here. So I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you. Now, there's a whole lot of gratitude that's going around this meeting, and it's June, and this is when we have to recognize all of the hard work of our student representatives. Now, we have the greatest student representatives. In fact, one of them was the reporter in the video, Chris Daly. Chris could not be here this evening, but Chris is a junior, and he signed on for next year. And I am thrilled to share that Madison Brody is also a junior, and she has signed on for another year. Now, Miss Madison, we might have a little something for you if you wanted to come up. Just a little something, something. Now, there is a tremendous amount of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. And our student representatives are literally a conduit between the student body, administration, and the Board of Education. We've gotten together, we share ideas. They're able to provide information to their peers that they may not have really gleaned as a student in the day of a life of a high school. So they've done a tremendous job providing context, providing an education to their peers about the operations not only of a school board, but operations of the school district and businesses and grant writing. And the students are so busy behind the scenes. They're busy advocating for their students. If something doesn't smell right, they go right to the source. They find out information, and and they've helped. I know every single one of you, including Chris, who's not here tonight, has helped their peers because of the knowledge that they gain from this process of being a student representative. And our students have actually sat in on committee meetings of the Board of Education to really share things with the Board of Education, share their perspectives, and it has just been an amazing journey with you. So Madison, I'm super, super happy that you're with us next year because you'll be one of the veterans. But I'm kind of sad because we get to welcome Madison back next year, but we have 3 graduating seniors of our student representatives. So, I would like to welcome Miss Bryn Heaney, or we'll grab you first because you're on the end. Bryn is just a wonderful student that I have had the joy of working with this year. Thank you so much for all of your work.
Thank you.
Oh, such good stuff, such good stuff. Okay, Miss Lauren Gill, I think you're next. Lauren, thank you so much.
For me?
For you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't believe they're leaving me. This is their last board meeting. And last but certainly not least, we have our veteran, our 2-year Board of Education representative. That is Miss Allison Cartanella. Miss Allison, come on up. Allison has just been an absolute joy to work with, and she has 2 years working with us. It's no easy feat. So well done, Allison.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, babe. I know. Is the other one still alive? Okay, good. Yes, yes. We want to sneak a picture, but first I want to introduce, because I think we have some students here this evening. Now, it's the time of year where we start to also welcome some of our new student reps, because just as we have the seniors graduating, we need to recruit some more students for next year. So we have Chris, we have Madison as the veterans for next year, and it is my pleasure to introduce Mason Adam. I think you're here. Come on down, Mason. Megan Cappy, come on down, another one of our reps for next year. And I would like to, I would like to announce that Michael Southwell will also be a board rep next year, but he was not able to attend this evening. So Michael, if on the off chance you're out there, watching the Board of Ed meetings, we welcome you next year. So we are so excited, Megan and Mason, to have you next year join us. And we have to get your nameplate, so we have to double check spelling of your names. All right, because we have to get that right. So I would love to get a big group picture. Let's scooch in. We have all of our student reps, incoming, outgoing.
All right, I feel like Madison shouldn't be on that. Yeah. So,
I'll tell you, nobody reps the student body like this group, and I am super excited. And Megan and Mason, you'll be hearing from me this summer. Sorry. Sorry. The work, we don't wait till September. We have a lot to do between now and then, so we look forward to it.
yeah, you will.
Right, Madison? Yep, okay, good.
August will be fun.
Okay. All right, Board of Education, I'd like to move back to the dais for the next component of the meeting.
Mr. Smythe, if you'd perform roll call, please.
Mr. Anizio?
Here.
Mr. Buffa? Here. Ms. DiGiovanni?
Here.
Sodnit?
Here.
Mr. Malik?
Here.
Mr. Nasser? Mr. Sanfilippo?
Here.
Mr. Wondrak? Here. Ms. Cartanella?
Here.
Ms. Brody?
Here.
Ms. Gill?
Here.
Ms. Heaney?
Here.
Ms. Stites? You.
Okay, at this time, I'll be opening the floor for public comment on any school-related or any issue. In other words, this is not related only to the agenda action items. The board would like to request that those individuals speaking will be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when making comments. So at this time, you may either use the podium at the top of the stairs or the podium down below.
Go now. Okay. Hi, my name is Liz Cross. I'm a school psychologist with Wall Township Schools. I would like to take this opportunity to speak about something that I'm very passionate about. National Take Your Child to Work Day, which was celebrated April 27th this year, is an opportunity for children to get a firsthand look at what their parents do for a living. In this time of a national and especially statewide educator shortage, this is a great chance to show our children our passion for education. Some might think, our children are also students themselves, so they already know what we do. I'm not a classroom teacher, but on behalf of classroom teachers, being a student in a class with a teacher that you only know in that capacity is completely different than seeing your mom or dad teach their students. It's a chance for our children to be proud of the work we do. Additionally, as a child study team member myself, I'd like to point out that there are so many careers in a school district that most average students would not have been exposed to. Some of those include a speech therapist, BCBA, school psychologist, OT, school social worker, family liaison counselor, guidance counselor, paraprofessional, school nurse, PT, custodian, maintenance, school secretary, transportation, supervisor, building principal, for example. I was disappointed when I was told that we were not participating this year, since we have in the past. However, when I came home that day and saw how many of my educator colleagues in local districts around Wall Township and across Monmouth County did participate, I felt defeated. I questioned, does our district not value my work as much as other districts value their staff? This was definitely not good for our morale. I'm going to read an email from a superintendent of a nearby Monmouth County school district to his staff after they participated in Take Your Child to Work Day. And he said, I just want to take a minute to share with everyone how wonderful it was to see so many of our staff members bring their children to work today. I think today was a benefit for our staff, their children, and the students of our district as well. It was an opportunity for your children to see what you do all day when you leave home in the morning. As I walked the halls today, there was a definite lighthearted feeling in the building, as you can hear voices of children of all ages. It was nice that your students in your classes got to see you in a different light as they saw you not only as their teacher, but also as a parent. I hope everyone enjoyed today. That was a great way to share enthusiasm for our profession and to take pride in education. As my final thought, I'd like to say this. My own father was a special education teacher for the New York City Public Schools for 37 years. Each year, his school had an event where staff was not only allowed, but encouraged to bring their children. I went to that event every year from the time I could walk and talk to the time I graduated high school, and even sometimes in college. I stand before you tonight as a product of such a program. I can assure you that watching my father's passion for his students is the single reason why I chose to work in special education. Going to work with him is the reason I felt connected to this profession. Again, at a time of educator shortages, is that not one of the most important things that we can do? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Susan Meerdink, Wall Township. I'm here this evening because I've done some more research into the NNDCC program, and there are a few good things I'd like to share so that other parents have access to the information as well, and to perhaps clear up some misinformation. I'm happy to say that as per my conversation last week with the Navy's Area 4 Manager, Commander Jimmy Miller, Wall High School is not slated for disestablishment for the 23-24 school year. Commander Miller advised that Wall has routinely fell below the minimum enrollment and has historically always received a leniency waiver. He stated that Wall will not be disestablished by the Navy, even though it has lower enrollment. However, he did say that a principal or superintendent can request the unit be disestablished at any time. He also informed me that he had seen a letter from Dr. Handerhan dated March 2nd, and in it she did not request disestablishment. In a reply sent by his admiral, he said, "They have extended their help to strengthen our program." The big takeaway from this conversation for me is that the Navy is not concerned at all with our enrollment numbers, and he had many positive things to say about the great kids in our program. The only statement he made that gave me pause was, and I quote him, "The fastest way to kill the program is to make the NSI position part-time." But I am willing to keep an open mind and offer my help for the upcoming school year. He advised there are many programs facing the same challenges across the nation. Commander Miller told me he has personally made many recommendations to our district over the years to strengthen our program, but unfortunately, the district has never taken action on those. Perhaps that was during the previous principal's tenure, and I look forward to hearing how our new principal and the district administration will be handling recommendations from Commander Miller going forward so that it can be a robust program. And also, so that Dr. Handerhan's wish from the last meeting for more and more kids to take advantage of it becomes a reality. One of the ways I have learned programs smaller than ours succeed is due to the teamwork between cadets, administration, and parent-led booster clubs, or anchor clubs, which raise funds to offset the cost of the unit, and they assist with recruitment. Speaking of recruitment, there are rumors circulating that students who have asked to be in the program are being told it is not taking new cadets. If there is any truth to this, how can we grow the program so that it is the robust program Dr. Handerhan wished for at our last board meeting? Even a smaller unit can do great things with the support of the school community and its parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I hate microphones. My name is Kelly Rotzma. I live in Wall Township. I wanted to keep with the theme of gratitude that Dr. Handerhan mentioned at the beginning of the meeting. On behalf of the Wall High School Executive Board of the PTO, we wanted to thank Dr. Handerhan for her personal donation to our gift night for the senior night gift raffle, and other members of the Board of Education as well, with their own personal funds donating gifts for our seniors. It was an incredible night. The kids had a great time, and we are so grateful for your support, whether it be stocking the shelves in the shack, helping clean up, whatever it might be. We are so fortunate to have you, and we're looking forward to a great year next year too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Liza Lee, Wall Township. I just wanted to make a couple comments about the ROTC and NDCC from the last meeting. One of the things I wanted to thank the Board of Ed for is that you didn't time the kids. No one told them they were talking at the wrong time. And some of them came up to the podium multiple times. And so I thank you all for listening to everything they had to say at the last meeting. The one thing that I think is important is that these meetings become teachable to people who aren't normally here, especially students. So as we all know, at the last meeting, the kids had asked that the vote be tabled or the request to vote no. The Board of Ed then went to an executive session, came back, and then immediately did the consent agenda voting. And I think that sort of took the kids by surprise, who had no idea what was going on and what that meant. So I think when there's a big issue like that and there's kids in the audience that want to understand what's happening, I think it would be good to just let them know this is what happens now, instead of just voting and then they all sort of looked like deer in headlights because they didn't quite know what happened. So Just a couple other things I wanted to mention. There was a meeting following the Board of Ed meeting for the students. Dr. Riggi did give them an update on what was happening. My only comment on that, I think it was great to bring the kids together, but Mr. Davis is the head of the program, and I think it would have been good for him to deliver the message. While Dr. Riggi's been here for a year, I think the students aren't as comfortable with him as they are with Mr. Davis, who has been here for quite some time. And then I think it's important that whatever is happening with the part-time position, whether Mr. Harrison is staying, whether something else is happening, I think it's important that the students and the parents are given updates so that they know coming in September what this looks like. And then lastly, I found out after the last meeting that Mr. Wondrak was in the military and had kids that did ROTC in the school system. And I think that's something else that it would be good for the ROTC kids to know, because I think they looked at it that night as you're all against it. And I truly don't believe that was the case. I think that's just how it appeared because it just came up on the agenda, kind of out of nowhere. So I think it's just important to communicate, especially when kids are involved and they are super passionate about what they're here to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luis Cabezas. I live in Wall Township. I wasn't really planning on speaking tonight, and then I heard people get up to talk about the NNDCC. I was part of the NNDCC while I was in Wall, and I'll tell you that the kids sitting behind me, we never had this many people show up to a meeting wearing uniforms. So if that doesn't show you the growth of this program, I only graduated 2 years ago. So these kids really do care about this program, and if it is what it sounds like and we end up taking this away from these kids, or even if we don't, I think it's really going to hurt the Wall community and these high schoolers. Mr. Harrison taught me a lot about how to just be a good person in life and how to plan for things when nobody else was teaching me that kind of stuff. And I met some of my best friends in high school sitting in that classroom. Even during lunch, he would take in all the kids. And yeah, like I'm saying, you don't take it away from these kids, because I know I had the time of my life in NNDCC, and I'm sure that plenty more students are going to have the time of their life learning from Mr. Harrison. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mary Connors, Wall Township. Speaking to the changes being made to the NSI position for Service and Leadership Academy and the NNDCC, a reason to changing the NSI position from full-time to part-time was low enrollment. After some research, this has been a national issue with recruitment the past few years, and we've been assured that it's just starting to take an uptick. Superintendent Hanrahan had spoken directly to the cadets and told them that she supported the program and she had hoped that it would grow to even at 200 cadets, and also stated that if you have the course on your schedule for the next year, it would be honored. My question is, what was not mentioned is, what about the year 2024, 2025, and beyond? President States, can you kindly ask Superintendent Hanrahan to answer just 2 quick questions? Have any 8th grade graduates attending Wall High School in fall of 2024 been allowed to add the naval science program to their academic year, because they did learn about it at their academic transition night, or was it strongly being discouraged by guidance? Will underclassmen at Wall High School be able to join the NNDCC starting in the fall of 24 if they are recruited by current and/or past members of the organization? Because we're being told otherwise, that it's being strongly discouraged that they not add it to their schedule. Can you ask now, just so we could put that to rest? Interesting. With our current NSI being on the RIF list and a job now being posted as part-time position, if he chooses to depart for family financial reasons, what qualified and Naval certified NSI would apply for a part-time position when so much is needed to properly teach, train, and support the cadets in the program? Now let's play devil advocate. If the program grows to a miraculous number of 200 cadets and we need to now hire a full-time position NSI, isn't it the tenure law that you go back to the last full-time certified teacher that held the position for the first right of refusal? Or it may be interpreted that the tenure clause is that it goes back to the previous full-time tenured certified employee with the most seniority. Either way, aren't we circling back to Harrison or another full-time NSI? So that it was budgeted in April for the full salary and then cut in half in May, but the money's still in that bucket, so why can't we just reinstate it? I understand that the superintendent met with leaders of the American Legion on this matter, and she apparently shared information with the veterans that the cadets and their families have not been privy to. Whatever she shared with them calmed their emotional pleas, but this does very little for the current and future cadets that are still being left in the dark. This is my opinion that shows a lack of respect and honor for this group of young citizens that are under your supervision. I met with a mom at the promotion event this afternoon, and she told me she was the sole member of the NNDCC Booster Club. This was news to me. I didn't know a booster club existed, nor did any of the parents in the room that I asked. So moving forward, we will work with the Booster Club and hopefully have more than just one parent in order to keep this program going.
Thank you.
Tierney Connors, Well High School. As previously stated tonight, at last month's meeting, you all voted to make the position of NSI part-time. The following day, myself and my peers worked together to make a petition on change.org asking to return the position to full-time. We spread the word and sent the link out, and by the end of 24 hours, we had 573 signatures, and as of today, we have had 1,448 people sign. And many comments. One comment left by Joseph Pinto stated, "The NJROTC program has definitely positively impacted my life from early on in high school, moving to another high school and starting a new ROTC program there as well. I know many cadets who have started out in our JROTC and then have moved on with the experience they have had from the program to be great adults. I can definitely say that this program has positively impacted these people along with myself, including ones that have joined the military and ones that have pursued civilian careers and used that life experience acquired at Wall High School. I can still to this day remember life lessons learned from the Naval Science instructor and Associate Naval Science instructor, and this is over 20 years later. Removing this program from the school or downsizing the program will negatively impact the student body of Wall High School." End quote. I will be more than willing to send you the list of signatures and comments so that you are able to see the impact that this program has had on many people today and years in the past. At this point, we are just trying to save the future of our unit, so I ask you to please consider to reverse the act voted on last month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alex Lee. Today, I thank you for showing up to our change of command. We were able to do a change of command today. It has been our first in 5 years because of COVID. I have been slightly informed, I knew about this, that guidance counselors have been trying to discourage people from joining the ROTC. They have also been discouraging joining Latin, which has been a big problem for years. Like they were trying to ice out Latin, which I took Latin, it's great. But say this. I would like to ask why the guidance counselors are trying to ice out this program, along with Latin 2. I have been informed that several guidance counselors have told cadets in the unit that you shouldn't join it, it's not the right fit for you, while it is nice and all to try to help the kids find what suits them best. But if they say, I want to do this, why are they discouraging them from trying it? I only know of one guidance counselor that has not discouraged anything at all. And I would also like to ask, what is the plan if Harrison does not plan on continuing at Wall High School? Will you put out a part-time position? Will you get a sub until you find one? Because one, it is not fair for the cadets still in the program to walk into school not knowing if they're gonna have a teacher, they're gonna have a sub, the teacher's gonna be certified, because having a sub, even if it's for like the first couple of weeks, okay and all, but if they have a sub for 6 months, they won't be able to learn. They won't be able to do the community events that they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll close.
Hello, I'm Alexiona Lunas, Wall High School. I just wanted to speak for the NNDCC program, and as a current cadet, even though we might not have many numbers as any other school with the ROTC program, we are at a high for members joining the actual military and trying to get into academies. This year we have about 3 others that are going straight into the military, and many other students going into military academies, including myself, trying to get into the Coast Guard Academy. And making Mr. Harrison's position part-time will only cause the number of cadets to drop, and many people would have a harder time joining a branch of the military, and if they wanted to, it would be harder. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tyler Mankey, and I'd like to start off by telling you about what happened over the summer. So, I was kicked out of my mom's house because she needed help because she had a very bad drug abuse problem, and I tried to help her, and she just packed up all my stuff and moved me out. So I'm living with her ex-boyfriend, Jackson, as of right now. But I didn't know who to go to explain that to them. And I ended up talking to Mr. Harrison about it because he was the only person in the school that I could really trust. And he's the whole reason that I'm even able to go to Wall, as he talked to guidance about it and just set up meetings for me and whatnot to talk to guidance and the schools about it. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm blinking.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Connor McAuliffe of Wall High School.
Well, this has been quite a year for me for my freshman year. I've enjoyed it so much, and just getting into the NNDCC has been quite the ride for me. Even though it's only my first year and I'm really just getting started, Harrison has really changed the course of my first ever year and truly has become sort of almost like a family member to me. He's really shown what true leadership can mean, and essentially what has been given to most underclassmen is that we just essentially got here and this program is being taken away from us, and we haven't even been able to really participate in it the true way that we mean to. So I personally feel that we haven't been given enough time to really process it, and I feel as if a little bit more action should be taken, especially considering most of the people that are underclassmen and 8th grade have had that option taken away from them. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Bobby Minal. I am a senior at Wall High School, and I'll keep it brief. I'm not the best with speeches, but I just want to say that the ROTC has been a wonderful program for me the past 4 years. And I think this program, I really learned the values of traits and values like community and, in a good way, discipline. And I think that's values that we don't really get from a lot of programs in the school. All the programs are great, but I think in this specific one, we're getting these kind of values, if you know what I mean. I also wanted to say we have multiple people this year, multiple seniors, who will have ROTC scholarships for the respective colleges and universities. And we have one fellow cadet in the Army as we speak, and we have another one who's going to be in the Marines. And I just... And I also want to say that there are kids in this program who may not have the best lives outside of school. They may not have the best personal lives. And I think this program has really given them stability, and really just this program for a lot of people, it's been family to them. So that's all I want to say. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Andrew Klimas, graduating class of 2009. I live in Wall, and I'd like to say a few words about Miss Kendrick's retirement. I think it's fair for me to say that Wall High School has maintained one of the best art curricula among public schools within New Jersey. And Miss Kendrick has been an important driving force behind it. She has taught skills that one wouldn't normally learn until their foundational year at college. For students to receive this kind of teaching at a public school level is a gift. As a former student of hers who went on to have a successful career in art, I've experienced this firsthand. I'm happy to say that I've had a fruitful career for the last 11 years in video games. My fellow classmates and former students of Miss Kendrick have also gone on to have successful and fulfilling careers in art fields. One is art directing at a New York publishing house. Another is working for a popular trading card and tabletop game company. Another in fashion and now owns their own business. Some are teachers themselves, teaching at the college level, just to name a few. And this is large in part because of the way that Ms. Kendrick views art as a medium. It is not just pencil to paper, it is not just rules. There are many ways to express yourself, but there are foundational skills, and all of them are important. She allowed and encouraged us to transform a given assignment as something that we were passionate about. As long as we followed the foundational skill it was intended to teach. She encouraged us to participate in contests, both locally and nationally. The school has won many accolades because of this. She encouraged us to seek higher learning, going as far as setting up portfolio reviews with colleges within the tri-state area for us, and encouraged us to take pre-college courses. And with that, I'd like to wish Ms. Kendrick a wonderful retirement. You've earned it. Myself and other former students of yours would not be here without your encouragement and guidance. And to the school board, Please take great care in maintaining the legacy that she has helped build for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jack Baldessay. I'm a cadet with the rest of the gentlemen and ladies back there. Now, going over the guidance thing that cadets are being pushed away from ROTC, I want to give my personal experience on that. Now, as someone who wasn't personally pushed away from the ROTC, my guidance counselor said, give it a shot and come back to me and tell me how you like it. And that's what I did. Now, I'm not a very big kid, as you can see. And when I joined the ROTC, I knew that I would have to do rigorous training exercises and push-ups and different physical training exercises that I thought I wouldn't be cut out for. And I remember dropping a rifle in class one time, and they made me do 50 push-ups. And boy, and the thing that I want to recognize about that is that they show you what to expect in the military. If you're someone seeking a military career, like me, they show you what you are going to expect as in boot camp from drill instructors. And they taught me the determination that comes behind doing 50 push-ups on my classroom floor, which was a great experience for me, and it kind of opened my eyes to I can do this, because I did those 50 push-ups and I got up and I was proud about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Genevieve Dillette. I spoke at the last meeting back in May, and since then I've had a lot of time to think about what I said, and I've had a lot of time to think about the decisions that were made here, and I originally didn't plan on coming back up because I had thought that I had shared all of the ideas and all of my thoughts that I had originally wanted to give you guys, but while I saw all of my peers go up, I had one more thought that I wanted to share with you guys, that what we're doing here today and what we're here representing is the NNDCC. The fact that we're getting up, we're standing in front of people who at snap of a finger could take away everything, and we're standing for something that we believe in so passionately is something that I feel like not a lot of kids can do. But because of Mr. Harrison and because of the program and because of the family that we have created through knowing each other and being able to come to each other with every single issue we've ever had under the sun, the bond that builds and the kind of person that Mr. Harrison is the reason why we're able to do something that all people should have the right and all people should have the strength to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment?
Betsy, before you go, I just want to shout out Tyler Menke. He was too modest when he got up to the podium. He's the senior going into the Marine Corps after graduation.
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall Township. Congratulations to Tyler, that was great. All the kids did a great job tonight. Definitely should be looking to rescind your vote last time and bring back Mr. Harrison full-time. If he's not coming back, you have to get somebody else back. It's kind of upsetting. I put in an Oprah for a simple letter from the Navy to Dr. Handrahan, and Mr. Smythe has asked for not one extension, 2 extensions. So I don't know how this board continues to allow this. I really thought, we have an attorney on the board, Kathleen DiGiovanni. I really thought you'd kind of jump in and say, what are you hiding? Because you're obviously hiding a letter that there's no need to redact anything from the Navy. So, you're shaking your head, Athena Cornell. Please.
Direct your comments to the
Okay,
chair, please, Ms.
don't
Cross.
interrupt me.
Direct your comments to the
Don't
chair.
interrupt me.
Thank you.
I want to go over, I filed another lawsuit against Brian Smythe, and it's going to be a real easy win. And this time I included Dr. Handerhan and Adam Nasser, who's not here tonight. I don't know if he's still on the board or not. But he wrote a email, and I gave the date, the exact time that it was sent, and it was a folder, and it was called Folder Shared With You, and in quotes, FB, which I guess is Facebook, and I went to Tracy Handerhan. And I'd like to see what's in it, because we have some terrible text messages from Ralph Adenesi about myself and even my son. And I want to see what this Facebook, I'm guessing it's a Facebook folder, what's in it. So again, we now have an attorney on the board, because this attorney, Athena Cornell's not doing her job. You need to turn these documents over. You can't have another $41,000 lawsuit, and we can't blame Athena Cornell. So Brian Smythe, Tracy Handerhan, Adam Nasser are all in the lawsuit. Thursday at 2 o'clock in the courtroom in Freehold, there's going to be a hearing on whether to dismiss the case on the trailers. And it's not good for Mr. Smythe, because we have in attorney bills September 3rd, 2019, tort notice claim. And September 3rd is the same night we were told by Ralph Adenesio that we were going to be so sick of transparency. That didn't happen. What happened was we shoved this over to the insurance carrier, and then we're trying to figure out how to hide the information. And it looks like he hid the tort notice, because I've OPR'd this document before. It should have came back in things that I requested. And Mr. Habel is now appealing his trial. So maybe what we can do, if Mr. Habel gets a new trial, we can put him on hold for this one too. Because we're gonna get to the truth for this from Mr. Smythe, because he's gonna be deposed, and his deposition should be online, and he should answer why he bought filthy, moldy, disgusting trailers against the recommendation of the architect, and said that the architect inspected them with at least 2 prior owners. So, Ms. Stites, you've now been the president, and we still don't have simple answers, and we need to get them. We also need you to answer Mary Connor's question. It was a simple question, and you can ask Dr. Handerhan to answer it tonight. Thank you.
Kathleen Duran Wall. As someone who also spoke out last time and shared my feelings with you about the cutting back of the teacher salary for the program, the college ROTC program here, I think you're making a terrible mistake. And some of us, including some of us who are really well qualified, wanted to see the letter that the superintendent told us forced this decision. The fact that the Oprah request has not been responded to, Ms. Chair, speaks terribly about your abilities as a chairperson. It speaks terribly about the person you're supposed to supervise, which is, what's his name again? Mr. Smythe. And the doctor superintendent sitting to your left who can't manage to give us the letter. Now, these young people stood up, and they're standing up in life as well as in front of you. And for that, I give them all the credit in the world. But I want them to know that there are people out there who are also trying to stand with them and trying to stand with them on a significant basis. Now, we asked for that letter for a reason, because some of us don't believe you. Because not everything that's come out of your mouth since you've taken your chair has been honest or forthcoming or transparent or accurate. I'm not even saying all of it's your fault, because I think sometimes you've been given terrible information by those under you. I think that's what Dr. Handerhan has had to suffer, Ms. Stites. I don't think you have a handle on it at all. But that letter hasn't been given to us. So they're here begging for a program. And that's what they're doing. They're begging you to take their thoughts, their futures, their financial futures, their career choices ahead of them into account. And you can't turn over the letter to someone like me so I can read it and make sure that you're being accurate to these children. They deserve that accuracy, Ms. Stites, and it's on your watch. And I want every student there to know they haven't turned the letter over that they're saying forces that program to be cut. Okay? I don't believe it, because obviously we've been snowballed before. And that snowballing starts, Ms. Stites, with you and your failure to act appropriately as the board president, with the person sitting to your left, Ms. Handerhan, who fails to supervise Mr. Smythe, and Mr. Smythe, the administrator, getting yet another, how many percent is it this time? Almost 4% raise this year? I don't know, 3.2, 3.9, like he gets every year when the rest of us in life don't get those raises. He's getting these raises while not responding properly to Oprah's, while letting the school district be sued, and while letting these students stand up here and spill their guts in front of you for a reason that we don't know yet is valid. It may be valid. And their pleas should be taken seriously regardless of whether it is or isn't, and as far as I'm concerned for you. I see the clock, Ms. Stites. Please do your job. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, I'll be closing the floor to public comment at this time, and we will be going to our student representatives for their reports.
First of all, thank you guys for coming out here and being so passionate about what you guys love. I've seen the work you guys do throughout all 4 years here, and I really support it. Good evening, board. Thank you. No problem. Good evening, board. We're happy to be back here one last time for what will be our seniors, Allie, Bryn, and I's final meeting as student representatives, and for our juniors, Madison and Chris's last meeting for the 2022-2023 school year. As graduation is coming right around the corner and the rest of our graduating class prepares to enter the next stages of their lives, whether it be continuing school, work, military, or whatever exciting new endeavor awaits us all, we feel that it is only appropriate to express our excitement towards what our futures hold with you tonight. In the fall, Allie plans to pursue a degree in psychology at the University of Vermont, taking her hardworking, school spirit-loving, and overall amazing personality along with her. Bryn will be venturing off to University of South Carolina, to study special education, continuing all the great work she's been doing, carrying her golden-hearted, always caring spirit with her. And I'll be attending Rutgers University and continuing to play with my band. My bassist is right back there, love her. I'll be attending Rutgers University to study audio engineering and music business, where I plan on learning the skills necessary to carry music with me for the rest of my life. As we take these next steps, we want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the wonderful events and memories we have made during our time here at Wall High School. Thank you for listening to us and into our ideas, to our thoughts, and for welcoming us with open arms. We'll always remember our time spent with you all, not only as representatives and not only with the people, but also as students who have been able to grow under the guidance of the community, your support, and your care. Thank you.
If you have a free moment, definitely see Lauren in her band Personal Space. They're so cool. So, sorry. Don't be mad at me. She's sick. As the school year is wrapping up and graduation is on Friday for our senior class of 2023 and our 8th grade class of 2023, I would like to highlight some events that happened the past few weeks. Both the junior and senior class hosted their proms. The seniors participated in our senior night, which was so much fun. With events and games, raffles, painting the plaques for Wall High School halls, and memories to last forever. We want to highlight all the spring sports on their incredible seasons. Just a little bit, the boys golf team brought home several trophies, and Mr. Stefanski got Coach of the Year, I think. So that's amazing. Boys lacrosse beat our crosstown rivals, Manasquan, for the Group 2 state championship. So yeah, that was good. Great moment for Wall. We literally tore down the fence, so.
That was a great moment for Wall.
Yeah, and so many other amazing wins for our teams. I personally want to say it's been a pleasure to be on the board for the past 2 years. I've learned so much and will cherish these memories for the rest of my life. Thank you, board members, especially Dr. Handerhan, for always listening to what we have to say every month. So, we love you.
On that note, Dr. Handerhan was actually in attendance to see our very own environmental club members, as well as students, win 3rd place in the New Jersey Student Climate Challenge, winning a grant to contribute to our project of rehabilitating the courtyard at Wall High School. We couldn't be more proud of our club advisor and teacher, Mr. Tennant, for his extreme passion and devotion for our school's well-being, and a thank you to all students and people who made that reward a reality. I will now hand the mic to Bryn, but as a lasting remark, I'd like to say to our senior members, Chris and I couldn't have done it without all of you, and next year as board reps will not be the same, although we will be filled with happiness to hear of your success in college.
Lastly, at the end of May, Wall High School had the opportunity to welcome incoming freshmen for a day full of fun and to learn a bit about being a high schooler. We played many games, including scooter races and musical chairs. And after lunch, we had a student panel that was able to answer any questions that younger students may have. Great job to the student leaders who participated, and I know that incoming freshmen will have a blast in high school. And best of luck to the 8th graders who are graduating, and enjoy the next 4 years. And it is true, even though it's cheesy, the next 4 years will go by so fast, like the blink of an eye. And again, thank you to the board for always being there to support us. We will miss you all so much, especially seeing Dr. Handerhan always in the hallway. We'll definitely be sure to visit. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's 8:48 at this time. If our student reps would like to be dismissed, you certainly may be. Good luck. Yeah, busy week. Good luck, ladies. We'll see you on Friday.
Can we take our plaques?
I beg your pardon?
Can we take our plaques? I want to. They're gifts. Yeah. We can
Absolutely.
Take them? Yeah. I get the plaque. The plaques. No way, man. Can we take them?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm putting this on my wall.
It's going in my dorm.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Handerhan for special presentations.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Stice to join me by the podium because we have such a special presentation. This is one of my favorite events at board meetings throughout the school year, and it's a time where we can honor our retirees. And absolutely, absolutely. So without any further ado, I'm going to ask Ms. Stites to join me up front, and I'll hop on the other microphone. Okay, well, retirees. When I received letters or emails, they're usually, either sent to me or they're CC'd from HR, from Mr. Scrano, our Director of Human Resources. It's like, because it's like, it feels, in many ways, I've only been here for 3 years. I've had the opportunity to get to know many of you, and it's like a little piece of you, just a little piece of the Wall family, goes on to the next journey. So it is such a special time in your life that you're just ready to embark upon, really, after this week. And it is, when I started to look regarding the years of service to this district, I'm in awe. and what you've done for this community in every capacity, because we have retirees from really every department, every school this year, and so many of you are here this evening. The work that you've done throughout the years, it made such a difference to students' lives. It made such a difference. And, you know, when I talk to my children who are older now, and I had a conversation with her one day, my youngest, who's 21, and we were talking about, she was a member of the class of 2020, where senior year was completely stopped. Everything, she thought we were all going back to school 2 weeks later. Oh, see you in 2 weeks. And one of her biggest regrets was that she wasn't able to say goodbye to Diane. Now, you might be wondering who Diane is. Well, Diane was, she may still be, but she is the cafeteria worker that worked the kiosk in the cafeteria. And for her 4 years of high school, she was the bright spot of my daughter's day. And one of the things that was particularly hard for my daughter is that she never got to say goodbye to Diane. So, you know, you'll never know the impact that you've made on the students that you've touched throughout the years. My daughter Sarah's story reminds me of my own, and that's Mr. LeRae. Mr. LeRae was a bus driver, and he was my bus driver for, gosh, probably 6 or 7 years. And I started in kindergarten, and you know, back in the days that you had the much older kids on the bus too, so I was like 5. So he took care of me. I sat next to Mr. LeRae when I was in kindergarten, and he would always ask about what my dad was planting in the garden, and you know, and our relationship grew. I mean, I literally probably had Mr. LeRae through sixth or 7th grade, and he made such an impact on me. He wore one of those, you know, those caps, you know, where they're almost like they were not baseball caps. They're the reporters, like, you know, have the little cap. And every time I see that hat, I think of Mr. LeRae. So, so it just makes me feel good, because Mr. LeRae, you know, if I was having trouble with some peers, he always cheered me up before I got off on my bus stop. And I always felt better after talking with him. And I have no idea where Mr. LeRae is now, but I do hope that you know, life has been good to him. So, you know, I have such fond memories. And you know, a shout out to my high school physics teacher, Miss Ryan, who literally changed the course of my life in so many ways. I had the pleasure of having her twice, and she really was a rock for me during it's adolescence. You know, you never know where you're going to find your rocks. But I say that because you, no matter what area of our school community that you worked in, you were students' rocks. And you're going to continue to be student rocks. And you're going to be perhaps, I don't know, at ShopRite or Whole Foods, and they're going to come up to you, and they're going to be so happy to see you. And I just want, I would be remiss if I did not underscore how important your contribution is, because one thing that I've noticed is you really it's the little things. It's the little things that you don't even think about, that you may have changed a child's day. And I know that every one of you tonight have been a rock for one of our students and have put a smile on our kids' days. And there's a whole lot of years between all of you, and you put smiles on kids' days for many, many years. That's a lot of smiles. So I thank you. So if everybody would like to join me in applauding you, I would love that. Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce you one by one. So Ms. Stites and Mr. Scarano, oh great, there's Mr. Scarano's going to assist. But if you would stay here so we can get a big picture. So when we acknowledge you and your service, please stay up here so we can get a really nice picture, because you really have been instrumental in shaping the legacy of what we call Wall Township Public Schools. So without any further ado, Ms. Pamela Fenton, Central School, teacher, 25 years of service. Christina Giro, Central, teacher, 25 years of service. Maria Maselli, Central School, teacher, 35 years. Whoa! And also from Central School, one of our teachers, Christine Appegard, 32 years. From the high school, would Robin Daiba, I saw Robin. I saw her. Oh, maybe she would. We'll go back and circle back. But while we're waiting for her, would Mr. Frank Salerno from the high school physics department come on down? Okay. All right. What about Michelle Kendrick, 38 years? I think she won the prize. Congratulations. Okay, Allison Beal, Old Mill School teacher, 21 years. Would Miss Lisa Kavanaugh from Old Mill School, secretary in the main office, who I torture on a regular basis with my phone calls. Lisa's been with us for 23 years. Also from Old Mill School, Anna O'Malley, a lunch para, 23 years. Would Mr. Russell Critchman from Operations, one of our custodians, 16 years, come on down. Thomas Polo, Operations, our head mechanic, 31 years. Would Carmen Sicarella from our transportation department, one of our bus drivers of 15 years, come on down. Rose Curry, West Belmar, teacher, 25 years. Would Catherine Cunhart from West Belmar, one of our teachers of 25 years, come on down. Okay, Miss Keeter, could we take a picture? Okay. Ta-da!
You go ahead.
Best wishes, everyone.
Sure. Okay. Yep. Do we need to read roll call? We're good. Okay. Okay. Always a bittersweet time. Happy for them, sad for us. We wish them well. We're going to be returning to the agenda. At this point, I'm going to give my president's report. I'd like to start with recognizing our students of the month. For grade 9, Genevieve Dillette. For grade 10, Riley Cook. For grade 11, Julia Forelli. And for grade 12, Michael Gammer. We have Knights of the Week. For May 1st, we have Hannah Pomerantz, a sophomore. For May 8th, we have Haley MacArthur, a senior. For May 15th, we have Bridget Houston, a junior. And for May 22nd, we have senior Amanda Haviland. As this school year comes to a close, there are many books and chapters closing, farewells and celebrations, and hopefully many new adventures beginning for our students, staff, and community. Our district has made outstanding gains in several areas this past year, and together with the support of the community, the board will continue to support initiatives that propel our district to excellence. The first of the referendum projects will commence this summer. Our strategic plan will be finalized, and our outstanding team of administrators will continue preparing to make the incoming school year engaging, exciting, and fulfilling. The Board of Education extends our best wishes to each member of our school community and hopes you have a wonderful summer. Be safe, relax, and connect with people who build you up and reflect on how far you've come. For the 2023 graduates and our 2023 retirees, there will be many speeches in the coming days to congratulate you, inspire you, and encourage you. The Board of Education will simply say at this time, it has been an honor to serve you. You always have a home here. At this point in time, I'm going to be turning the evening to Dr. Handerhand for her report.
Thank you, Ms. Stites. I would like to once again extend a heartfelt thank you to the Wall High School Color Guard and our student representatives to the Board of Education, Allison Cartanella, Bryn Heaney, Lauren Gill, and Madison Brody for joining us this evening. Again, I would also like to thank the Wall High School Delta Club and the Social Club for all of their continued hard work that was showcased here this evening. There were a few items that I would like to address with respect to the NNDCC. One is which 8th grade recruitment. Students certainly had the opportunity to enroll as 8th graders to join the program into 9th grade. I am personally aware of that the recruitment efforts remain consistent as they have in years past. There were some conversations with respect to students being dissuaded by guidance to enroll when they're current students. I do not have any firsthand knowledge of that, but I do encourage the students, if any of them are still here, or if any of the families are still here, I encourage them to speak to high school administrators, because they're the ones with the immediate firsthand knowledge with respect to registration. So certainly it's something that I can follow up with, and I intend to do so. But in the meantime, it's the students that I strongly encourage them to reach out to the high school administration. There were some questions that were posed that, questioning the, what about the future? The commitment is there to run the program just as and I do want to stress that the program for the students remains unchanged. The students program, it is the personnel that the percentage of the full-time equivalency did change to 0.6, and that did indeed happen at the last board meeting. But from the students' experience, from the students' perspective, the courses will be running as they were. Naval Science 1 will run alongside Naval Science 2, 3 is paired with 4, etc., and the students will still be provided with their PT training. Why did you reduce it? So, along the same lines, some of the questions were related to, some of the questions relate to the commitment beyond. The Board of Education and me, we are very committed to seeing this program grow, seeing this program thrive. Some of the questions that were posed at the podium this evening cross into the realm of personnel matters that I'm not able to discuss I'm not able to discuss publicly. But I can say that there is an absolute commitment, and we are looking forward to the growth of the program. And, we are on the same page. And, we want to see the program grow. And I tried to stress that last month, and I hope that, that you'll hear my words, that I stress it tonight. There has been communication with the local American Legion, and they are wonderful proponents for our students' programs. I did indeed have a wonderful meeting with one of the leaders, and we look forward to future partnerships and cooperative endeavors. And I look forward to the 23-24 school year, and it is an absolute priority of my superintendency as well as the Board of Education. We believe that programs like this are special and provide unique opportunities for our students, and we're not giving up on that. And we want as much for our students, and we want to through our actions, we do want to demonstrate that we are on the same page with the students, and I want to applaud them because, it's not easy to speak publicly in front of, community members, to some perhaps even strangers. It takes a lot of courage, and I applaud them for that, because this is the civic process. This is a learning experience for them. And I certainly take to heart the comments from someone in the public stressing that the students, this is a learning experience for them. And those words resonated with me, and I thank you for that comment, because I think it's a very productive one as we move forward, because we welcome the students in this process. They're a huge part. They're why we're all here, and it's that they're why I get out of bed in the morning, to be honest. The students, we're here to serve them. So just to shift gears a little bit, we have had a lot of wonderful activities that have taken place this week. I would like to send deep congratulations to the class of 2036 as they graduated from Wall Primary School this week. Ms. Mbon and the primary school staff did an amazing job preparing them for kindergarten, and it was a beautiful ceremony, and there were a lot of tears and a lot of proud parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, and it was just wonderful. So congratulations to them. I would also like to give a shout out to Wall High School for collecting and donating $703 and 583 food items to Tackle Hunger, home of the Super Bowl of Caring. It is really great to see that our students recognize that hunger is a year-round concern, as this food drive took place outside of the holiday season, and that did not go unnoticed with me. So they just have done a wonderful job. Similarly, another wonderful job, there have been amazing activities that I know I'm personally aware of from all of our parent-teacher organizations, and I cannot thank them enough. They support our schools like I've never seen, and I appreciate everything that they do. It's a lot of work. Anyone that has, been a cookie parent or had wrapping paper stored in their dining room for, 6 weeks, and, nut sales and car washes, it's a testament of love that they have for their children and their experience at school, and I thank them. And I also want to thank the Wall High School PTO, because a great deal. Most people know that the vast majority of my experience has been at the high school, and oftentimes, parents just, they do so much in the elementaries and it wanes over time. But I am just in awe of the Wall High School PTO, because they are committed to the bitter end to support the kids and the teachers in the high school. So I thank them, and it's just something that I've noticed, because like I said, my high school experience takes up most of my career, and it's really unusual, and it's a special thing that I've noticed in Wall Township. Like Madison did earlier, I would like to congratulate Wall High School biology teacher Mr. Josh Tennant and his environmentally focused students for winning 3rd place in the statewide climate challenge competition. Their submission was rooted in their construction of native plant garden and pond in one of the high school's courtyards. Mr. Tennant and the students were invited to the governor's mansion for the award ceremony last week, and the snacks were pretty good there. So I just want to say that the students really, I think, enjoyed the experience, and they really appreciated being recognized for all their hard work. Pursuant to and in accordance with the American Rescue Plan Act, school districts are required to report out at least every 6 months through September 30th, 2024 on the status of their plan for safe return to in-person instruction and continuity of service. I would like to note that the district has not made any changes to the existing safe return plan. This document is available for review on our website, and some copies are available by the entrance this evening. As I indicated last month, I informed the public that I would report out on the discrepancy of the J17 chart on the most recent audit. You may recall that in 2021, 371 individuals were designated as teachers on the chart. In the last audit, it was recorded as 429, the difference being 58. Our Human Resources Department confirmed that only teachers were reported in 2021. That year, 2021, was an outlier compared to other years, including 2022. The 429 teachers, the 429 on the most recent audit included other certificated staff. In addition to teachers, that 429 included school family liaison counselors, nurses, speech-language pathologists, occupational therapists, social workers, psychologists, LDTCs, guidance counselors, BCBAs, SAC counselor, and 1 leave replacement coded as tenure-track staff. According to district records, the actual number of teaching positions in 2022 is 353 teachers, which is less than the 371 recorded on the chart in 2022. I wish to once again I wish to once again thank our student representatives for a great year and also extend our congratulations to our senior representatives. I wish our retirees great happiness and health, and a big congratulations to WIS and Wall High School classes of 2023 as they engage in commencement exercises this week. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Smythe to provide us with some context regarding, there's been some recent discussion regarding my health benefit contributions. You may recall last month that I did speak to it, and there are still continues to be some questions, and I was hoping that he could speak a bit on that tonight to provide some additional context. Mr. Smythe?
Sure. And with your authorization, I can speak to it. So
yes.
Following up on last month, Dr. Hanahan reported on her contributions for the current school year. The last school year, her contributions will be approximately $10,000. And the contributions for her first year of employment in the district, the 2021 school year, was just over $6,500. Reason for the $6,500 in the first year was as the first 3 months of her employment in the district, benefits were waived. The next 3 months was contract provisions were applied, and then the remaining 6 months were in accordance with contract and statute. But to provide some context to perhaps the discussion or the questions, evolve around the detailed statement of contract costs. That is a document that districts are required to submit to the Department of Education when seeking approval of a contract for the superintendent of schools, school business administrator, or the assistant superintendent of schools. The detailed statement is to put a dollar value to the provisions within the employment contract, whether those benefits or those costs will be realized by the employee or not, but it is to summarize or aggregate all the benefits that the employee may be entitled to with regard to that contract. Within Dr. Hanahan's contract, the contribution for health benefits is the original contract, 1.5% of the 1.5% of her salary, which is a requirement of Chapter 78, which is the statute applying to health benefits at the time. At the same time that Dr. Hanahan was hired in the district, an additional law or provision that was signed into law was Chapter 44, which required all employees hired after July 1, 2020 would be enrolled in the New Jersey Educators Health Benefit Plan. However, at the time, the state did not develop the plan, so that plan was developed and the costs associated became available in January of 2021, and as with every other employee in the district that was hired after July 1, 2020, they were enrolled in the Educators Health Plan if they were to take benefits. I can say that since July 1, 2021, which was halfway through the first year, the contributions for health benefits for the medical and prescription have been in accordance with Chapter 44, which, as it would apply to Dr. Hanahan, and again, because I was authorized to speak to it, receives family benefits because of her salary exceeds $125,000, would be 7.2% of the salary at a cap of $125,000. And that's for medical and prescription, which is a combined plan in the Educators Health Plan. Additionally, contributions for the dental benefit provision would be based on Chapter 78, which is 35% of the premium cost for the benefit. And I think the explanation is perhaps the confusion with percentage of salary and percentage of premium costs of a benefit, because they've been interchanged. So under Chapter 78, the minimum requirement is that an employee must contribute at least 1.5% of their salary for the benefit. And then under Chapter 44, which went into effect for January 1, 2021, it was a percentage of the employee's salary. Chapter 78 is not a percentage of the employee's salary, but a percentage of the premium cost. So for Dr. Handerhan, since her 3 years in the district, the first year was a combination of just a contract provision of 1.5% of salary. When the statute went into effect in January, it was Chapter 44, or 7.2% of $125,000 of her salary for medical and prescription. And for the dental, it was 35% of the dental premium. And that carried through for the 21-22 school year and the 22-23 school year. One additional note with regard to Dr. Handerhan's contract is Chapter 44 was brand new. There were questions on how to apply the provisions of Chapter 44, which only spoke to the medical and prescription, and how to apply the contribution for the dental. We relied on the provision of the contract, which was 1.5% of her salary for the dental. So in that first year, when the Chapter 44 went into effect in January, we used Chapter 44, so it was 7.2% of the salary for the medical and prescription, capped at $125,000. So on an annual basis, that's $9,000 a year. And then we used 1.5% of her salary to cover the dental. Subsequent to that, it was clarified that actually Chapter 78 should apply to the dental, which would be approximately half of what the contribution was based on 1.5% of the salary in the first year. But for the last 2 years, just to recap, it's approximately $10,000 a year being contributed, and that's based on 7.2% of the salary, up to $125,000 for medical prescription, and then 35% of the cost of the dental premium. And those together is what totals the contribution for the year.
It took you 2 years to apply.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smythe.
All right. At this time, we're going to have a few members of the board give updates. I'd like to start with Mr. Buffa.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a quick update. I was able to attend the Renaissance Luncheon last week over at the high school. Really a great event. It was great to see all the kids being honored. The one major takeaway that I got from listening to the students talk was that the pasta and meatballs was really good, possibly better than the prom dinner. So thank you to the high school administration, staff, teachers, support staff for putting that on. The kids really had a good time, and it was just a great event all around. One other thing, I'd just like to congratulate all the retirees and best wishes in the future for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Hodnett?
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, I just wanted to share that on May 30th, which was the Tuesday after Memorial Day, I joined the teachers and many of the administrators for their SEL, so social emotional learning training of the 7 mindsets. It took place at 8 o'clock in the morning at the high school, and it was a really well-planned event. I sat with Mr. Laughlin and Mr. Radu, and Ms. Daniels was there as well. It was organized to follow the approach that Ms. Tiffany Steiner had shared with us. And it's district-wide, and the training included teachers, counselors, parents, administrators, and it was active. So we reviewed each of the mindsets that will be shared with students in their classrooms in a collaboration with their counselors. And, you know, we got to participate in an activity, and we got to learn more about them, and it was just, it's exciting to know that's going to be part of our school in a real way next year. So, and I also attended the primary graduation, which was the cutest thing in the world, on Monday.
Thank you. I have the opportunity to attend several different events, some as a parent, some as a board member. I'd like to thank the band boosters for a beautiful band banquet this year. I also had the honor of attending the pre-engineering graduation this past week. They did a beautiful job. Congratulations to the folks who run that program. they really energize and inspire the students, and I know that those kids are really well prepared to take the next steps with what they're doing after graduation. I also had the opportunity to attend the senior award nights at the high school. We have so many talented students graduating, and so many generous members of the community who back a lot of these different awards. So I'd like to thank them and thank the high school administration for putting on a beautiful event. Unfortunately, Mr. Nasser is not able to join us this evening, so I'm going to ask Mr. Smythe to give a brief update on the start of our referendum projects.
Sure thing. So as approved at a prior board meeting, the sale of the bonds is scheduled for June 21st. It's recently advertised, and we anticipate a closing on or about July 18th. So that's the schedule with regard to the sale of bonds. With regard to the projects, the first project of the referendum is on tonight's agenda for approval. That is the roof replacement at Wall High School. That is the shingle roof replacement, and we received a low bid and recommended award in the amount of $784,200, for the roof shingles. That's the first project being awarded. The next project that is scheduled is for site improvements at Allenwood Elementary School, and we are scheduled to take bids in July with an anticipated award at the July Board of Education meeting pending the receipt of those bids. That's what I got. Thank you.
Thank you. It's exciting that we've got these, it's very exciting that we've got these projects off the ground, and we'd like to again thank our Wall community for supporting that referendum. At this point, we're going to move into committee reports. The minutes are published. Do any of our committee chairs have any update? Okay, seeing none. We're going to move into public comment on agenda action items. Again, please feel free to use the podium at the top or the bottom.
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall. It took Brian Smythe 2 years to answer that question on health benefits. I even asked for a copy of her
This is agenda
Tracy
items
Handa's
only, Ms. Cross. Thank you.
paycheck, and I never got it.
Agenda items only.
So
Thank
I
you.
don't know what he was hiding with the paycheck.
Thank you.
Who is the roof vendor? What we always do is we hire vendors, and then they're very quickly out of business. And then we can never go sue them, because that's what we do. We bought a Mercury gym floor, you'd sue the vendor, you'd sue the architect, and we're not doing it because Mr. Smythe knows why. Same thing with the Central School trailers. Why weren't we suing the architect? Ms. DiGiovanni is an attorney. Why wouldn't we be suing them?
Please address your comments to the chair, Ms. Cross. Thank you.
Mr. Smythe doesn't have a contract on here. He's
To the
getting
chair, Ms. Cross.
$199,000. Everybody should be voting no, because he should not have anything renewed. He hasn't had a contract online in years. You mentioned that Mr. Harrison was a personnel issue, so I thought we're not supposed to talk about personnel issues. But if we are, why is Rosergio out? Is that a personnel issue? Every time I get her calendar, it's not to do with medical or taking leave. It's admin leave. So if you can answer why is she out, I'd appreciate it. So she either comes back or you file tenure charges. We can't afford to pay $200,000 for somebody to sit home. And what else? We have Peter Riggi on there getting $650 a day for God knows what he's doing. He doesn't have a contract. He doesn't have a job description. Am I boring you, Ms. Handerhand? You're not even looking at me.
Please direct your comments to the chair.
I know, but
and it's Dr. Hanrahan.
It's very disrespectful. You're not
I
even
would
looking. You're
agree.
looking up
You
there.
are very disrespectful. Please
No.
finish your public
Don't
comment.
interrupt me.
Thank you.
So Brian should not be getting a raise. I see somebody in the business office is already leaving. I don't know if we've had 4 people leave in a year. Who does their exit interview? Where is Michael Scarani? There. please do exit interviews with these people and document them.
Please direct your
So when the
comments to the
comptroller's
chair,
office
Ms.
wants to get
Cross.
copies of it,
Thank
they
you.
can get it. The only reason you answered that is because I'm writing the comptroller's office every single day. They keep saying, keep sending stuff in.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
they
love
do.
it. Excuse me, Miss Cornell?
I said, I'm sure they do.
I mean, she is just unbelievable. So unprofessional. I just can't even believe it. You should have ethics complaints against you. Goldberg Zagala's on here for another $8,000 for that trailer issue that we were supposed to be so transparent on that we now find out you got a tort notice and you were demoing the trailers during an open criminal investigation, and Mr. Smythe was not sharing public information. Why are you shaking your head, Ms. Cornell?
Thank you, Mrs. Cross.
Why?
Your
So
time is
now
up.
you can use,
Thank
you
you,
can go
Mrs.
on
Cross.
now and say, why are you shaking
Thank
your
you,
head?
Mrs.
No,
Cross.
Athena Cornell. Why don't you?
Kathleen Duran, Wall Township. All my comments are directed to the chair. I don't want there to be any misunderstanding about that, even if I'm too far away to see her name and might have a momentary glitch. I'd like to know why Ms. Cornell thinks it's appropriate to act like that in a meeting, speaking sarcastically about another board member's disrespect of a citizen speaker. We can do without the drama from an attorney, from a paid attorney. We don't need the eye rolling, the facial grimaces. They pay you to act professionally because you clearly aren't doing your Oprah work given that Ms. Cross won a $40,000 lawsuit against your firm.
Ms. Duran, this
Now-
is on action agenda items, please.
I will. Now, next item I wanted to address was the Oprah requests that have gone unanswered by Mr. Smythe. One of them was sent to...
It's not an action item, thank you.
I think it was. The Oprahs?
I don't
I
believe
do
so.
think it was, because Mr. Nasser sent an email folder to Dr. Tracy Handerhan, who sits to
This
Ms.
is public
Stites'
comment
left.
for action items
And
on the agenda.
They have refused,
which is not
Ms.
an
Stites,
action
they've
item
refused to return
on the
it.
agenda.
I don't want Ms. Cross
Thank
to win
you.
another $40,000 lawsuit
Thank you.
against the district. I would rather the
Thank you,
money
Ms.
be
Duran.
spent on the
It's
students.
action items on the
So,
agenda.
Point of order.
Action items on the agenda. Thank you.
Excuse me, order.
It's, this is all in your legal bills that are all submitted for consideration, so I do think it's on the agenda. Also, there was a tort claim notices. They were filed in 2019 and 2023. that
Action
Mr.
items, please,
Mr.
on the
Smythe
agenda.
has not returned.
Ms. Duran.
They will also likely be the subject of another
This is
lawsuit.
the section
It's
for
like
action
shooting
items
fish in a
on the
barrel.
agenda.
The
Please.
board has circled the wagons
Thank you, Ms.
against
Duran.
anyone who wants
It's
to
action
critique
items.
Mr. Smythe.
Thank you.
Point of order. Mrs. Cross.
Please stop calling out.
Order.
Inappropriate.
Order. 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 I haven't allowed anyone to turn off the microphone. Mrs. Cross, this is a business meeting. We need to. Do you want to call a recess? Is there anybody else? Do we have anyone else for public comment? Ms. Duran, do you have anything on any other action items? Ma'am? Do we
Point of
have anyone else?
clarification.
Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time on agenda action items? Do we? Ma'am, I'm about to close the floor. If you have anything on any other agenda action items, please, you can use your remaining time at this time before we close the floor. Can we please hand the microphone to Ms. Duran?
Thank you. To the extent that Mr. Smythe's contract is not online and there is no record of a publicly recorded vote, a very specific fact that you keep ignoring, I object to his salary increase, as I have every year. And for the past 5 years, long before Athena Cornell was ever showing up for meetings and rolling her eyes at me, Ms. Stites, which you refuse to control, I have stood up and I have compared Mr. Smythe's and other administrators' salaries to other districts comparable in socioeconomic background, comparable in the cost per student, and the size of the student body and the number of schools, etc. The cost of Wall Township's administrator, business administrator, as well as the other administrators, are drastically out of line. And for 5 years, I stood up and begged someone on the board to pay attention to what they were doing and not to reflexively give people 3 or 4%, 2%, whatever it is, it's usually in the range of 3 or higher, raises every single year. Those raises are not shared by others in the general government. They are not shared by all your teachers. But the administrators keep getting them and making themselves richer and richer, and some of the highest paid in the state. Make it stop.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Make the pain stop.
Do we have anyone else for agenda items? Seeing none, I'm going to be closing the floor for public comment. At this point, may I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo? Second? Yeah. Ms. DiGiovanni? Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Anidia?
Yes, but I abstain on 15A, 16A, Roman numeral X, A, number 1, and 16H.
Noted. Mr. Butler?
Yes.
Ms. DiGiovanni?
Yes.
Simon?
Yes, but I would like to abstain from 15A, 16A, Roman numeral X, letter A, number 1, and 16H.
Noted. Mr. Malik?
Yes, with the following exceptions: abstentions on 15A, 16A, Roman numeral 10, subsection A, and 16H.
Mr. Nasser is not here. Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak?
Yes.
Ms. Stites?
Yes. Thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Second.
Mr. Adnesio, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see everyone at graduation.